What else we got? Yes, ma'am.
I thought it was really ironic that you were so bad in school.
So did my teacher.
Like, except, like, you didn't like English, and then you became
an author, right? Who your English teacher brought me here. And it's, you know, there's so many things screwed up about American culture. Like, I could, like, rant for days without even pausing to take breath. The reason that I choose the books that I write, I write about what makes me angry. And particularly what makes me angry about the way we treat teenagers in American culture. Because we're very good at treating little kids well, sometimes, although there's way too many American children in poverty. But little kids are cute. You know, you can pick them up, grab them by the back of their overalls, they're portable, you know, they smell bad sometimes, but you can fix that. But when teenagers, when you guys get to high school, something about, I don't know, maybe when you get as tall as your parents, it's like our culture goes, you're done. You know, and the businesses in America, consumer culture, they want your money. And they know how to sell to you, right? And it has everything to do with body image and sexuality. They'll put stuff in the videos, and then you're young and you don't know much, so you're like, oh, I'm going to buy that thing because I saw a commercial and I need to buy that thing. Instead of really taking care of you, and I'm ranting and I'm already on a tangent, but one of the things that makes me really upset is that we send you so many false messages. One of the things that we tell you is that at age 18, you should know what you want to do with your life, right? And you should know you're going to go to college and you're going to study this and then you're going to become that person. I want you all to do me a favor. If you're interested in, like, especially if you're a senior, start talking to the adults in your life who you feel are fairly successful and ask them when they were 18, what did they want to be? Most of the adults you will talk to are not doing what they thought they would do when they're 18. Because nobody knows when they're 18, except for like one person, probably Mr. Clark, what they want to do when they grow up. You've got a lot, your brain doesn't stop growing until you're 25. 25, your brain is still growing. You've got, 7 years of brain growth from 18 to 25. So please go to college. Please go to community college because it's affordable. But feel free to change your major. Feel free to transfer. Feel free to take some time off. No one would have predicted that if they knew me at 18. Actually, I had this great lecture from Mr. Sheridan, my guidance counselor. It was my sophomore year, though. I was a little bit younger because I was really messing up big time. And Mr. Sheridan gave me the talk, right? That finger talk that the guidance counselor, he was really pissed at me. And he said, "You're going to wind up in jail if you keep doing this stuff." And I was like, So years later, I'd go through college, get my life together, and I was a newspaper reporter for a while, right? So, and I go to the federal penitentiary outside Philadelphia where I lived because the gentlemen in that penitentiary who were in there for life because they had murdered somebody, the lifers in any jail situation tend to be the most stable guys because they're older. And they've had a lot of time to think about what they did wrong. And they were having a college graduation. One of those men was getting his PhD. And I went to cover it for the newspaper. Every single one of those guys I interviewed had gone on to get their education as an example to their children, right? Because they had made mistakes. They were never going to get out of jail. I'm going to tear up talking about this. Their families got to go to their graduation, right? So there's like sons and daughters your age, and there's their dad getting his master's degree. You know, it was a really, really meaningful moment, and I was so privileged to be able to cover that story. And so it went great, the ceremony, but then as it was huge, huge penitentiary. As they were escorting me out in a different part of the prison, there was a small riot. So they take me and they throw me in a stairwell, which is a secure place. And this is before cell phones hadn't been invented. I was on deadline. So I'm locked in the stairwell, there's a camera of me, and I'm like, oh my God, my editor's going to kill me because I'm late. I'm not worried about the riot. I just have to go back and file my story because my editor will kill me if I'm late. So I'm like screaming at the camera, "You don't understand, I have to get out of here, I have to go write this story." And I stopped because Mr. Sheridan was right and I had wound up in jail. Just not the way he thought I was going to. So that worked out great. So.